Now we introduce you to the governor of South Dakota, Kristi Noem. Good morning to you, Governor.
Morning.
Good morning. I love you're talking about South Dakota.
Right, it's so beautiful out there.
It's so beautiful.
Right, the
It
sun's
is,
coming.
it is.
It looks a lot like my home state of Kansas. You know, nice and flat. You know, you got the interstate running right through there.
Buffalo.
Not a lot of cars
Dakota
going
Dunes
through.
right there.
How pretty is that?
Where is
Yeah, it
Dakota
just
Dunes on the map?
It's
Is it?
down in the south. It's down in the southeastern corner. So it's a beautiful development. It's just south of Sioux Falls, our largest city, which has waterfalls through the middle of the city. It really is a diverse, beautiful state. You're usually talking about Florida, but
Yep.
we've got treasures in South Dakota as well.
Right.
So
Well, you
I'm
mentioned-
glad
We're not leaving you
spending all
out.
the
We're
time.
sorry.
You
That's
mentioned
right.
Sioux
Thank
Falls.
you.
You mentioned Sioux Falls. My cousin Angie lives there and loves it. Just saying.
Oh,
right.
really? It's a beautiful city.
We'll look for it, see if we can see another overhead shot if we have another.
That's right.
Real quick, let's go to Florida, if you don't mind, and talk about what the DOJ is responding to the effort the Trump team is wanting to do to find out tomorrow about a special master. Evidently, the DOJ doesn't want it, and because of that, they released very specific information on why they believe that it was really necessary for them to do this raid, and they gave some pictures, and we've been seeing some of these pictures of some documents on the ground. They said they have a reason to believe, that some of these documents were moved or were going to be concealed, and they had no choice to go in because one of their, I guess, whistleblowers came out and said that there was an effort to conceal.
Couple.
So do you feel as though this is now justified?
I'll tell you what, the one thing I've heard across this country, Republicans, Democrats, the public, they don't trust the DOJ, and they want this to be transparent. The fact that they don't think they need a special master to come in and look at this is ridiculous. Hiding these documents and this information, keeping it within the DOJ is wrong. It needs to be transparent so people can start to build trust back in the FBI and the DOJ and what they're doing.
Well, ultimately, it comes down to why did he have all that secret stuff at Mar-a-Lago? You know, I know his team has said that they declassified it, but that's news to the agencies that those documents belong to. And Governor, he had apparently 3 classified documents in his desk. And then the stuff, as Brian detailed on the floor, it shows 5 yellow folders marked top secret, and another one that says secret SCI, which means sensitive compartmentalized information. Those are the biggest secrets in the world. Why would he, and apparently the former president went through them in January, why wouldn't he say, oh, you know what? I really need to turn that back over. Why'd he have all that stuff at Mar-a-Lago?
Well, that's why I think it's important that this is transparent and that we do have someone who's outside of the DOJ looking at this and talking to people. What is this information? We don't know what was in there. We don't know. Believe President Trump declassified all this information. Let's find out really what the process is, what is right, what's precedent that other presidents have followed, and make sure that this is done correctly.
Governor, I don't think any president has ever carted off that many documents to their house after they left the presidency.
Well, there was no secret. I mean, it was out in front. We've seen the video. I mean, there wasn't, if he was trying to conceal something, he did a pretty terrible job because you see all the boxes and the hand trucks loading onto the chopper.
I guess the question to all of you is what was in those documents and folders? Do you know?
No,
Top
we
secrets.
don't.
And we deserve
We
to
don't
know.
know what they say.
And I don't know if the DOJ and FBI can be trusted to tell us what was in there. That's the thing. You can see folders. You can see big words on the. Do we know that is
Right.
really what President Trump brought to his
Right.
home? Do we know that he put them there? Do we know what's inside? That's why I think it's important that the DOJ bring in someone who's outside of this, that's a neutral individual that can look at this and really build some trust back in our justice system. This has been a political fight against President Trump. They've attacked him for years and years. They want to destroy him. That is why we can't trust them to do this
When will
alone.
they tell us what's in those documents? The day before the election?
Yeah, I'm guessing, or the day after. You know, this is all political. They've been picking up this issue for years and years, and they're going to use it to their advantage to see what they can do to manipulate an election again.
They said they have their own, vetting team to go through
Yeah.
it.
Filter
So
team.
if they're filter team. So to me, special master would be a godsend for the Department of Justice because they would have somebody come outside and back up.
not
They're so
biased.
confident that they have.
That's exactly right. We haven't been told who is on that vetting team, why they picked them, how they're qualified to be there. We don't know any of that. So a special master would be incredibly important to bring in at this time.
All right, Governor, I know that you have been very vocal about trying to lift some of these vaccine mandates. You and 17 other governors from around the country, Republicans, have written a letter to Joe Biden saying, why is it that we're allowing these immigrants to come in and they're not being, they don't have to show a vaccine paper or prove that they're vaccinated, but you have people like Djokovic or anyone from another country that comes over and they do have to prove that. It's such hypocrisy, and they've been called out on this. Where are we? When will they recognize that this is not fair and doesn't make sense? Have you heard back from the administration?
You know, it's interesting because I'm so thankful this has happened, that this happened to a tennis player, so the public is well aware of what's going on, because we've been dealing with this for months and years now, where other countries have lifted their vaccine mandates, but we still have one in the United States of America for people coming in. So for us, it's been hurting our economy in South Dakota. We're growing at 10 times the national average. We've got the best economy in the country, but the problem is I have people from Canada that want to come in and start a business in South Dakota. They're tired of the policies there. They can't get here to do site visits. They can't come in and visit with my executives because they're not vaccinated. We've had people that want to come in and be workers and fill the 27,000 open jobs that I have in South Dakota, but they can't come because they're not vaccinated. It's hurting my workforce, it's hurting my business recruitment, and it's been going on, and it's ridiculous. With us, in our state right now, people are more interested in South Dakota than they've ever been, and this kind of policy that the United States has is out of date and out of touch. I've called with 17 different governors on the administration to lift this mandate. We've asked them to do that. Now, my entire congressional delegation is supportive as well. It's time that they do that and get in line with Europe and Canada, all these other countries that...
Governor, we have a president, we have a first lady, and Anthony Fauci. What do they all have in common? They got 4 shots. And what do they have all in common? Over the last month, they've all had not only the COVID virus, but they had a recurrence while having a treatment for it. At the same time, they're telling people from outside that want to come to this country to visit or work that, oh, it's too dangerous for you to come. At the same time, they've left millions of people come in our southern border. Maybe you should grab a clipboard and go to the southern border and grab one of the Venezuelans or Guatemalans and say, how would you like to come and work here? Or you could just wait for the president to finance a bus ride to South Dakota.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is unbelievable to me. I've sent my National Guard to the border to help secure what's going down there. People are being walked across, facilitated by the federal government, and helped to come into our country without any vaccination history or health checks. Meanwhile, at every other border from every other country, we're not letting them in because they haven't had their shots.
Can't do it in Canada.
You can't. And, you know, we're close to Canada, so a lot of Canadians want to come into South Dakota. They want to move here. They're struggling because of this.
Some of them have kids that live there, and the parents live in, they can't even come visit their grandkids or their kids.
They can't come visit their families.
Well, the president wants to ride his bike, so I guess we really can't get through to him. We can't meet him at the border, so you can't go there.
He just needs to make sure he wears a helmet, because he's not good at riding the bike sometimes. Governor, if you or the other 16 governors hear from the administration about your letter, let us know. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining us from, it looks like you're right in front, you're right on the lawn of the Capitol building.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
I'm not, though. It looks like it. I'm not, though.
TV magic.
I spent the night at my ranch last night because I was in Sioux Falls all day, and I'm going to go to work in Watertown today. So I slept at the ranch. I got up, looked out the window, and watched the sun rise over my buffalo. It was beautiful.
Oh, that is so cool.
Okay, we didn't.
Right.
You did not.
Sorry.
Just the Buffalo Wings Cafe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Some boneless.
That's right.
Thank you, Governor.
Well, come visit us.
Thanks, Governor.
Indeed. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.